She's the oldest living Oscar winner. At 104 years old, she still mesmerizes people with her glamour, beauty, and fervor. Her legacy in cinema is a lengthy one with lots of stories to tell since her emergence to the Hollywood scene in mid-1930s. But it was not an easy climb to success in Hollywood. Olivia had to prove herself as an irreplaceable woman on the scene, which was flooded by other talent. Olivia De Havilland's younger sister was Joan Fontaine, who won the Best Actress Oscar a few years earlier. The sisters are the only sibling duo to win the Best Actress awards. You should check out my video on Joan too. Olivia immersed in acting since her teenage years and acted in Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream in high school. As a result, she caught the attention of Max Reinhardt, who cast her in his production of Midsummer, and subsequently Olivia reprised her role in the movie version in 1935 for Warner Brothers, who put Olivia under a 7-year contract, which later she would sue them for. Since this moment, Olivia was cast in a series of roles that did not necessarily display her acting power, but nonetheless put her on the map. She starred in 8 films overall with her constant co-star / heartthrob Errol Flynn. In 1939, Olivia got her second big break since her Warner Brothers contract. It was her portrayal of Melanie Hamilton in Gone with the Wind, opposite Vivien Leigh. For this role, De Havilland was nominated for Best Supporting Actress at the 1940 Academy Awards, but lost to Hattie McDaniel, who was in Gone with the Wind too, the first ever African American woman to win an Oscar. After this role, the following year, Olivia was considered for the Best Actress Oscar for her role in Hold Back the Dawn, but lost to her younger sister Joan. This situation angered Olivia not only with her sister, but with the whole Hollywood system. She decided to stop getting shoved sweet young thing roles and demanded more substantial roles from Warner Brothers. She said, "I wanted to do complex roles like Melanie, for example, and Jack Warner saw me as an ingenue. I was really restless to portray more developed human beings. Jack never understood this, and he would give me roles that really had no character or quality in them. I knew I wouldn't even be effective." The studio did not like that their contracted actress, or a mere property that they treated her as, had a voice. So they suspended her for 6 months to take a break from acting. When the 6 months was up and her 7-year contract coming to an end, Olivia sued Warner Brothers for their claim that she was to make up for the 6 months she was suspended from. This story proves just how manipulative, unfair, and unprofessional Hollywood was, especially to women. As a woman, if you were outspoken and stood your ground, you would be considered box office poison and nobody would work with you again. Yet on the flip side, if you were submissive and passive, you would get exploited and pigeonholed. But Olivia stood her ground, and throughout the duration of her battle with Warner Brothers, she did not appear in any film. But that's okay, because ultimately she won the trial, and on top of this success, the court made it a law that all performers were to be limited to a 7-year contract that would include any suspensions handed down. This became known as the De Havilland decision. In 1946, she returned to the big screen in a succession of successful films. One of them was To Each His Own, for which she won the long-awaited and very much desired Oscar for Best Actress at the 1947 ceremony. She indelicately brushed past her sister at the ceremony when passing to accept her statuette, as if to state, "Now it's my turn. I too can win the Oscar." Olivia, being just a year older than Joan, always had a competition going on. Olivia felt like Joan had a one-up over her in all aspects of life. The fact of the matter is that Olivia did have a one-up over Joan, because she won her second Best Actress Oscar 3 years later at the 1950 Academy Awards for her role in The Heiress, which was a feminist-infused film. Her dream came true to play more darker and stronger roles by the late 40s, like in The Snake Pit, and starred in a few film, TV, and Broadway appearances. She ultimately retired and moved to her beloved Paris in the 1950s. On top of Olivia's achievements, she was the first woman to be the Cannes Film Festival jury president in 1965. She was considered for some film roles that went to other actresses who won the Best Actress Oscar, for roles like Blanche Dubois in Streetcar Named Desire, which went to Vivien Leigh, and Mildred Pierce, which went to Joan Crawford. Olivia ruled Hollywood with her diverse characters and her outspoken attitude that attracted masses. She said this about women characters in film: "I think the lack of women's roles is due to the fact that everyone, men and women, have some idea of creating a new kind of modern woman. They aren't interested in the fantasy of women anymore. Personally, I think women ruled from the first, and that we were better off not to let the men know about it. Movies should return to mystiques." Olivia De Havilland was most proud of her work in Gone with the Wind. She left Hollywood when TV started to take over, and she disliked TV and knew that she had already secured her success and saw no need to continue her work. Some stars like her left, and some transitioned to dabble in TV. She dedicated all of her time and focus on developing her characters, and she looks back on her acting past with relish, and that is what makes Olivia one of the great actresses of old Hollywood.